Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Game Terrain. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is the Monday painting video. What is the Monday painting video? What's it all about? Well, Monday painting video is us from last week's Weekly Wednesday, which is a weekly Q&A. I show you guys a host of models and you guys vote on what you want me to paint for next Monday's painting video. Now, you would have seen, should be yesterday, it's been Sunday, the Death Guard guy went up. This is him, in case you missed him. Go back and check the video out if you haven't looked at it. That should be going up on Sunday, and these guys will be going up today on Monday. Now, both of them had 2 votes apiece, so I just said, look, I can get them all done, let me get them all done. So for all my regulars here, guys, I feel love, thank you very much. I'll see you in a minute. So those of you that are tuning in the first time seeing this part of it, these are Howling Banshees. Now I've got 5 of the plastic ones, the new ones, and I have 3 of the older ones, which are just as nice, except that there's a little bit between their hair that shouldn't be there. We'll ignore that. The first thing I need to do is, so I've got 2 colours on my wet palette. I've got Lead Belcher and I've got some Screaming Skull. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Lead Belcher and I'm going to get some tissue first, and I'm going to give these guys a heavy dry brush down with Lead Belcher. I'm talking their face, their armour, their arms. I don't want to get any little cloaks and stuff to hang off them. I don't want to get those. If I do, it's not the end of the world. This method of painting these girls is going to be so brilliant, so easy. I love these sculpts. The only thing about these sculpts I'm not too confident or happy with is the dynamic pose. I think they're too dynamic. As you can see, it's a heavy dry brush down. Some people say, I can't see a difference. This is the difference. Yeah. I need to move all these models on behind because the camera's trying to focus on what's behind. But I'm going to do that with all of them. I'm going to come back to you then after that. For some of you probably thinking, what the hell is this crazy man up to? Why is he painting them all silver? Right, all will be revealed soon. Now I'm going to come with some Screaming Skull. And I'm going to come in and get the hair of Screaming Skull. I'm just going to show you this all on my model, and then I can just go off camera and do the rest on the other ones. And you notice as the hair comes out the helmet, I've left that as dark as possible. So that's for something else extra afterwards. I'm going to paint their swords with Screaming Skull. The blades of the sword, so I say. Some of you are probably sitting there thinking, what the hell? Just trust what I'm doing. And when you see the result, you're going to go, actually, that's very good. Some of you might even drop your coffee whilst you're seeing this, thinking, what's this crazy man doing? And because this one has little stones on her, mad little stone thing on the base, I'm going to give that a quick once over. Nothing too serious, just a quick once over with the screaming skull just left on the brush. Just to really pop that detail out on the base, the stone she's running off of. So I'm going to carry on that process on the rest of the guys, or the girls shall I say, and then I'm going to come back to you after I've done that. Right, so I've gone through and done all those, looking quite tasty. So now I've got some Mephiston red on the wet palette. I'll take some off onto a bit of tissue. And now, here's where people are going to say, what is this guy up to now? Now I'm going to start dry brushing all of the silver. I'm going to get the helmets as well. So here's what we have so far. So you're just going to get the front of that mask as well. Now that straight away is totally different to anything you would have seen before. Because normally you had the bone armor and the the red hair. So I'm going to do that on the rest of the guys and the ladies and come back to you then when I've done that. So as always, I'm running out of time. So I've got some Nagara Night on the wet palette now. I'm going to come in with this and I'm going to get all of these little banners that are flying off of them. And so if the camera's trying to zoom in on what's behind, it's not my intention. All the little tabards and the cloaks, bits of lovely bits of fluff hanging off them. The reason why I'm going with this dark purple is it will contrast the red very nicely with very little effort. So I can come in and dry brush that as well afterwards at the end. So it wasn't planned to do, but I can do. It's very easy. Right, so now I'm going to come in with some Polar Glacier contrast paint. Some of you are going to be like, what the hell is this madman up to? I'm going to do with this Polar Glacier, I'm going to throw it into the hair. Plan is to get rid of all of the screaming skull that I put in there with this Polar Glacier. You could come in and do a couple of bits of white scars in there first before you put the Polar Glacier on. It's not a very strong colour, but it still looks nice. And what I'm going to do whilst I'm here, I'm going to just wash it across the writing on the stonework. leave that to dry for a second. I'm going to come in for some white scars next. Right, so I'm going to get some white scars, and I'm going to come in, I'm just going to run it along this edge of the blade. It should mix in nicely with the Screaming Skull. They're both layer paints, it's just blend in nicely, give me a nice white edge. Leave that to dry for a minute because I'm not terribly happy with the hair, so once that's dry I'm going to give another blast of Polar Glacier. Right, so I went over the hair again with some of the Polar Glacier, but in the middle here I dropped a little bit of Talazar Blue and just worked it around. Try and give me some mad little blue. See, it's still shiny wet, it's still shiny, it's not dry yet. So now what I've done, I've got some West Decker Red on the wet palette. Now, if you've seen the Space Marine video, you know I usually layer up with the Westlake Red over the Corn Red, but I've never actually given it a chance of a dry brush. I've never had something like this I can really go over the top of. So I'm going to get some on the dry brush. I'm going to dry brush her with Westlake Red. It's quite tasty. So what I'm going to do now, I'm now going to come to some Screaming Skull. Yeah, I think Screaming Skull is the one I need to go to. Should really put her in the painting handle, but I'm pressed for time. I just want to get this done now in front of for you guys. So Screaming Skull onto the tissue. I'm going to dry brush all of these ribbon sections of hers. I wanted to dry brush the hair, but it's still wet. Let's give it a nice, it's a bit too much there, but don't matter, do nicely. Well, so as far as I'm concerned, she is battle ready, apart from just the blue in the hair drying. So I'm going to come in now and take it beyond battle ready standard. What that means is I'm going to, it could be a dry brush, it could be edge highlight, it could be any sort of shading or anything like that. So I'm going to come in with some Aeldari Emerald contrast paint, and I'm going to pick out all of her little gemstones that she has scattered throughout her body. And the Aeldari Emerald is really going to contrast against all of this lot. Gemstones on her head as well. Drop it into the eye sockets to really make them stand out. So she's trying to, the camera's trying to focus on what's behind. Pick this out on the top as well. I think she looks absolutely amazing. There's not much more to do to her, really. And you could argue the pouch on the side of her body could have like some monoxide. But I honestly think leaving it dark like that just makes it pop off on her even more. The only thing I would do would be dry brush the hair with some Screaming Skull or even some white scars. But as you can see, it's still wet, so I can't really do nothing like that. Why did I see what I've forgotten? There's some gemstones on her blade. Makes that blade really stand out. So we have Howling Banshee. Now, that's very, very straightforward to paint. So if you're trying to paint a mass amount of Banshees, that's a very easy colour scheme. You don't need to use the red. You could use a totally different colour, a green or even a blue, and then just dry brush it with a lighter colour. So if I use a green, I would probably go something like Vulcan green. Then maybe dry brush it with a moot green or something that's not quite that bright, but something, you know, I'm trying to think about something that's still not quite that bright, but you could dry brush it with that. If you have a blue, you'd probably go with Ultramarines blue or something like that. Then go with Lothern blue to dry brush it with. I think that's absolutely amazing. This base might need to have another little. What I might have to do with that base is, I might actually do it now. Actually, let's take a bit of water down the white scars that's on the wet palette, water right down, and come in. Just drop it into those little cracks. Because it's really watered down, it should just flow into there nicely. Just get in there and get that. Because I've watered down the white scars, it should sort of get into the recesses and stay in those recesses really nicely. So there we have it, guys. A Howling Banshee. Now I know there's all the rest of them. But as always, and I thought this yesterday when I was doing the Death Guard model, the Death Guard biologist, Pox something or other. This guy. When I painted him, I knew that I'd probably press for time. So the rest of them are almost done. Just a little bit, as you can see, to do. First thing I'm going to say is thank you guys for watching. Thank you for voting. If you're not subscribed to the channel, Hit the subscribe button because it costs you absolutely nothing. Turn on your notifications so you don't miss anything. And everyone smash the thumbs up button so it triggers YouTube to share this video with more and more people. Any comments or suggestions or anything, chuck them below. And until next time, guys, take it easy.